Have you ever wondered how an entire nation manages to save nearly half of everything they earn, while the rest of us in the West often struggle to put away even 5% of our paycheck? It is a startling reality that should make every one of us stop and think. We work hard for 40 years, yet the fear of becoming a financial burden to our children remains a silent shadow in our minds. My name is your guide on this journey to financial clarity and peace of mind. Today, I am going to reveal a financial secret that has turned saving money into a sacred art form for billions of people. It is called the 10 to 1 rule. But do not be mistaken. This is not just about being cheap or living in poverty. It is about finding a path to a legacy of grace and a life of true independence. If you are tired of feeling like you are running on a treadmill that never stops, you are in the right place. Please stay with me until the very end because we are going to break down the math of how you can turn your current savings into a generational blessing. Let us start with a truth that might be hard to hear. The average American household currently saves only about 5% of their income. That means for every $100 that comes in, only $5 are set aside for the future. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, households are saving $36 out of that same 100. That is not just a small difference in habits. That is a 10 to 1 ratio that changes the entire trajectory of a family's history. Why do we struggle so much? It is because we have fallen into the trap of lifestyle inflation. We are told that we need the newest smartphone, the larger house, and the luxury car to be happy. But as we reach our 50s and 60s, we realize that these things do not provide security. A luxury car cannot pay for a medical emergency in your retirement, and you certainly cannot use the drywall of your house to buy your groceries. 1/3 of people earning over $200,000 a year are still living paycheck to paycheck. This proves that it is not about how much you make, but how you choose to value what you have. The 10 to 1 rule challenges us to rethink our entire relationship with money. The goal of this rule is to aim to live on only 10% of what you earn. Now, I know that sounds impossible for most people living in America today, but the secret is not in hitting the goal perfectly every single month. The magic happens when you aim that high. Even if you only manage to save 30 or 40%, you are already miles ahead of the average person. This approach is about a fundamental shift in your perspective. It is about treating your savings as your first and most important bill. Most people pay everyone else first, the landlord, the car company, and the coffee shop. Then they try to save whatever is left over at the end of the month. The problem is that there is usually nothing left over. The 10 to 1 rule flips this upside down. You pay your future self first, and then you challenge yourself to be creative with the rest. This is what we call zero-based budgeting. Before the month even begins, every single dollar you earn is assigned a specific job. Not a single penny goes unaccounted for. Your rent is assigned, your food is assigned, but your peace of mind is assigned first. When you treat your savings as an essential expense, it stops being optional. You would not skip your mortgage payment just because you saw a nice pair of shoes at the mall. So why would you skip the payment to your future self for the same reason? Let us look at the math of compounding, because this is where the grace of time becomes visible. Many people feel discouraged because they believe it is too late to start, but the numbers tell a very different story. Imagine you have managed to save $500,000 by the time you are 50. If you leave that money in a well-diversified portfolio, earning a 10% return, something incredible happens. Thanks to the power of compounding, your money doubles roughly every 7 to 10 years. Without you adding a single extra dollar, that $500,000 becomes $1 million by the time you are 60. Wait just 7 more years, and it grows into $2 million. This is what we call the tipping point. It is the moment when your money starts working harder than you ever could. At this stage, your investments can generate $80,000 a year in income for the rest of your life. When you add that to your Social Security benefits, you are looking at a retirement that is not just secure, but abundant. This is the freedom to travel, to give to your church, and to spend time with your grandchildren without stress. Speaking of grandchildren, let us talk about the ultimate investment strategy. In the 10 to 1 culture, education is viewed as the best performing asset in the world. Think about it this way. If you invest $100,000 into the education of a child, you are not just paying for a degree. You are increasing their lifetime earning potential by more than $50,000 every year. Over a 30-year career, that is a $1.5 million return on your investment. There is no stock or piece of real estate that can consistently match those kinds of returns. This is how you create generational wealth. It is about making a calculated sacrifice today so that your family can thrive for decades to come. This requires a surgical precision when distinguishing between your needs and your wants. Marketing companies spend billions of dollars trying to convince you that your wants are actually needs. They want you to believe that you need the latest titanium frame phone to stay connected. But in reality, you just need a device that works. The difference of $1,000 between a basic phone and a luxury one could be growing in your account instead. Every purchase you make should be evaluated by its cost per use over time. Quality items that last for 20 years are a blessing. Cheap items that need to be replaced every year are a drain on your future. As we move through our later years, the concept of face or social reputation becomes important. In our culture, we often feel pressure to show off our wealth through expensive cars and gadgets. But true success is not found in what you drive. It is found in the peace of mind you have when you sleep at night. There is a deep dignity in driving a 10-year-old car that is completely paid off. There is a profound grace in knowing that your medical bills will never be a burden to your children. This social pressure to consume is a thief that steals your future. We must choose to respect financial discipline more than we respect luxury labels. The absence of a perfect social safety net means we must create our own. When you know that the government might not provide everything you need, saving becomes a matter of survival. This awareness creates a sense of urgency that is actually a gift. It forces us to be diligent and to watch over our households with care. Healthcare costs are one of the biggest motivators for this extreme saving behavior. We save today so that we can face the challenges of tomorrow with dignity. But this journey is not meant to be traveled alone. One of the most powerful things you can do is to have complete financial transparency within your family. Money should not be a secret discussed in whispers behind closed doors. It should be a family project where everyone understands the goal. When your children understand that you are saving for their future, they learn the value of discipline. When your spouse understands that skipping a few restaurant meals means a fully funded emergency account, you become a team. This transparency eliminates the mystery of where the money goes. It plugs the leaks in your budget and brings your family closer together. Tracking your spending down to the very last dollar might sound obsessive, but it is actually liberating. When you know exactly where your money is, you gain total control over your life. The financial anxiety that comes from uncertainty disappears when you have a clear map. Implementing these strategies does not happen overnight. You do not go from saving 5% to 50% in a single day. But you can start with one small step. Start by tracking your expenses for just 30 days. You will be surprised at how much money is slipping through the cracks on things you do not even care about. Then, try to increase your savings rate by just 1% next month, then another percent the month after that. Slowly but surely, you will build the momentum of a snowball rolling downhill. The beauty of these principles is that even applying half of them will put you miles ahead of the crowd. True financial freedom comes from controlling your money rather than letting your money control you. It is about being intentional with the resources you have been blessed with. You are not just hoarding cash, you are building a foundation for a life of service and joy. Whether you embrace the 10-to-1 rule or just start using a zero-based budget, you are taking a stand for your future. You are choosing to be a provider rather than a consumer. You are choosing to be a source of strength for your family. And who knows? In a few years, you might be the one looking back and wondering how you ever lived any other way. You will have the freedom to decide how you spend your time, to say no to things that do not matter, and to say yes to the things that do. That is the real reward of financial independence. It is not just about the numbers in your bank account. It is about the freedom to be the person you were meant to be. Please share your thoughts and your own saving tips in the comments below. We are building a community of people who value wisdom over vanity. Thank you for spending this time with me today. May you find the discipline to save, the wisdom to invest, and the grace to live a life of true abundance. God bless you on your journey.